Thanks for watching today. So what I have on this video is my 1990 Chevy K3500 one-ton dump. It originally was a 350 gas with a turbo 400. I ran that for 2 years. Then I purchased a 97 Dodge. It was a P-pump 12 valve with an NV4500 5-speed that I was going to swap into the Chevy. So all the pictures here you can see is when I was dismantling the Dodge. Basically radiator support, fenders, ripped them all off. And then I got into it and I started ripping the cab off the truck. So I ended up using the dump body on the Chevy to get the cab off. So I removed it with the dump body. So basically I got everything off the truck and then I was able to pull the motor out fairly easy. And then I started doing the swap on the Chevy. So I did this in 2009. I did the swap. I previously bought the truck 2 years before that and I drove it the way it was. So basically I ripped everything apart, got the motor out of it, and the hardest part was the motor in the transmission because it was heavy. But we had a tractor, so it picked it up and got it out of there. And then I started doing the swap on the Chevy. I ended up putting a 3-inch body lift in it, and I tore the whole nose off of it to be able to get the motor in there easier. So as you can see here, there's some pictures of the motor just sitting there getting ready to go in, and then the truck when I started tearing it apart. So I tore the whole nose off, and then I started pulling the motor and transmission out of it. And then I had to do some fabricating on the frame to get the mounts to fit. I did some fabricating on the radiator support to get the Dodge intercooler to fit. And there was a lot of different things I had to fabricate. The intercooler lines. I ended up using the Dodge power steering pump, and it actually bolted right up to the steering box on the truck. So that was fairly nice. Basically, you can see here is where I'm cutting the frame so the motor mount will fit. And then ended up painting them a little bit. And then I ended up sliding the motor and tranny in it. And it actually fit rather nice. I had to fab the cross member for the transmission. I ended up welding an extension bracket onto it and used the Dodge mount and everything. I ended up using the Auto World kit, which was the motor mounts and the brackets for the motor. And here you can see I drilled a hole for the shifter because this truck wasn't automatic. So I ended up cutting the brake pedal instead of replacing it. I just cut it and used the regular brake pedal. And then I just basically went to the junkyard, found a clutch pedal. I put the clutch pedal in, drilled a hole in the firewall to mount the Dodge clutch pieces. And so it's literally a Chevy push rod, the Dodge push rod welded together and spaced out. I made a couple brackets on the firewall for it, so it was all basically the whole Dodge system, other than cutting the push rod. And it had like minimal clearance, but it fit. So here, the next picture you can see the motor sitting in the frame. And then I got all that buttoned up, started putting the fenders, radiators, put everything back on. And then at that point I had everything connected to the intercooler, the radiator support cut and everything. And at that point in time, the next picture here, you can see that where I cut the hole in the firewall. So, and then I had to make the drive shafts so it's half Dodge, half Chevy. Do the same with the front. And then I have some pictures here of probably a year and a half after I did the swap. I was putting a clutch in it. And then we'll fast forward to 2020. The truck rotted out. I ended up stripping it. So I literally pulled it all back apart, pulled the motor and transmission out of it, and gutted a ton of parts that I could save that weren't rotted off of it, because the front frame rotted off the truck. So it wasn't roadworthy anymore. So some pictures of when I stripped it, and then pictures of it going to the boneyard. But I just want to say thanks for watching. If you like it, give me a like, subscribe. Appreciate it. Thanks. Have a good one. Bye.